the unknown pyramid with technology from another world that exploded when the system collapsed with the destruction of ancient Atlantis. And we have some pictures here from 1828 from the Joshua Pyramid in Egypt. So what happened here? Most people are not aware that near the famous trio of pyramids in Giza, Egypt, there are two other pyramids of which only the foundations remain. One of them is called the unfinished North Pyramid of Zawyet el-Aryan. The other is called the Layer Pyramid. Archaeologists believe that these are incomplete pyramids, but there is an alternative theory, according to UFOspain.com, which claims that they were completed but suddenly destroyed a long time ago. Various information on the internet about the unfinished North Pyramid of Zawyet el-Aryan shows that it's not unfinished, that the underground structure is not a burial chamber, and that the granite basin they found is not a sarcophagus. The original source of information is the Italian archaeologist Alessandro Barsanti, who found the ruins of the pyramid in the year 1900 and began excavating in 1904. His original report in French contains descriptions of the underground corridors, the chamber, and the strange oval stone basin, which was sealed and protected, which is really remarkable. Although Barsanti was impressed by the high quality of the stonework and the open room at the bottom, no one else explored this monument for some reason. Since 1964, the pyramid has been placed in a restricted military zone, and further excavation is not allowed, is prohibited. The entire base of the North Pyramid of Zawyet el-Aryan is made of local limestone. Its base is 200 meters, that's over 600 feet, which would make it almost as big as the Great Pyramid of Giza. A large piece was cut from this rock, leading to a basement. Archaeologists still attribute this interior to a tomb where Pharaoh was to be buried, despite the fact that all the stone boxes, the granite boxes, which were not carnivorous, found in the pyramid were empty, and that the pharaohs and aristocrats were buried in the Valley of the Kings and not here. And here you see, of course, an aerial image of it, of the Zawyet el-Aryan pyramid that we're talking about. Kindly support my Patreon account. The daily posts are 5 videos daily, and they are totally different from what I have on my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for your support and that you find all my content so interesting. You'll find the Patreon account details in the description box. As some researchers have shown, the construction of the pyramids and their interior design show that they are technological devices intended for the collection of energy from the Earth and the universe, so to use this energy possibly for multiple purposes. Some say that the builders of the pyramids, since the time of Atlantis, used liquids and gases inside the pyramids, which is interesting because of the granite boxes found at the base of the North Pyramid of Zawyet el-Aryan. Others say that the underground veins of the water produced electricity and sound vibrations that were amplified by the construction of the pyramids. At the moment, we do not know for sure how these pyramids worked, because the Atlantean technology used very different technology than those structures, and those structures were destroyed, and what is left are, of course, ruins now. It's claimed that most of the pyramids were built 12,000 years ago during the Atlantic period, and after its disappearance and the destruction of the coastal areas by the huge tsunami, many of those that were in Egypt were left in ruins. After a few thousand years, the Egyptians settled there, embracing the pyramids and whatever they found with their own culture. For example, we see that some of the dynastic temples built of small stones were built on large pieces of stone of several tons, which formed the rest of the buildings of the Atlanteans, the megalithic structures. What has also been pointed out is that most likely when the Atlantic civilization reached its catastrophic end, there was a malfunction of the pyramid technology, which was followed by explosions that destroyed them. There are other nearby pyramids that show signs of eruption, that is, explosion, with some stone masses scattered around them. One of them is the Dasher Pyramid, which has a disassembled corner as if it had exploded. The North Pyramid of Zawyet el-Aryan may also have exploded sometime in the past, as many scattered stones were found around it. The reason why only the base remains today is easy. For the past thousands of years, people around have used stones to build their own homes. Why go and extract stones when you can use already cut stones from an old monument? So that's exactly what they did. Apparently, when the Roman Empire conquered Upper Egypt, they used this monument as a stone quarry. Even recently, stones have been used by the local population as building materials. However, the ruin that remains today from the North Pyramid of Zawyet el-Aryan is still very interesting, full of a mystery that also implies unusual and ancient technology. When Italian archaeologist Alessandro Barsanti began excavating the underground structure of the North Pyramid of Zawyet el-Aryan in 1904, he was the only one to examine the structure and the only one who left us some very interesting descriptions. His initial report was published in the Chronicles of the Service of Antiquities of Egypt, Volume 7 of the Institute of French Archaeology in East Cairo, 1906. Although not much remains of the North Pyramid of Zawyet el-Aryan, we can point out some features that, according to the alternative theory, do not make it so much a tomb as a technological construction about which we do not know much yet. The oval basin, or these granite boxes, is the most interesting of many others around, inside and out, as it has a perfectly placed granite top lid and was polished inside like a mirror. These features create a very strong bond with the Serapeum underground granites, with the perfect 90-degree angles that are also polished like mirrors, and incidentally cannot be made or reproduced with our modern technology. There's no way we could do this. So why did these basins have to have a smooth interior mirror? And why was it oval, a shape that is even harder to make than a simple rectangular box? It's very possible that after the destruction of the pyramid, perhaps from a possible explosion as mentioned above, the caretakers sealed the basin, quote unquote, with a layer of limestone. They could also have filled the cabin and hallway with rocks and debris. It's very likely that these people did not survive the disaster, so the sealed basin remains so until Barsanti discovered it. Could there be more underground passages that have not yet been discovered? As Barsanti pointed out, after a heavy rain, quote, the well was flooded to a height of 3 meters, that's 10 feet. By midnight, the water had dropped sharply to about a meter, end quote. We can only explain this phenomenon by assuming that there is an underground tunnel large enough to have room for 380 cubic meters of water. One may wonder why the Egyptian authorities are not interested in these new excavations. They are always eager to discover a hidden tomb full of treasures and bounties, but completely reluctant to look at something excitingly different that might lead to the solution of some mysteries. And I've translated this for you from Describiento Nunca Antes Visito on Egypt by, it's a Greek article. I'll leave links below for you for this. Thank you for your support.